you ever imagined what it would be like to visit a planet where the winds are faster than the speed of sound and the temperature is hotter than a furnace? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. Imagine being thrust into an alien world, a place where conditions are so extreme they defy everything you know about survival. Now visualize yourself on this planet, HD 1897-33b, a gaseous world where winds can reach up to 8,700 kilometers per hour, faster than the speed of sound. Imagine being hit by these gusts of wind so powerful that they can literally destroy any structure that tries to resist. And that's not all. The temperature on this planet is so extreme that it reaches 1,000 degrees Celsius. That's hotter than the surface of a furnace. Radiation, pressure, and atmospheric phenomena make any visit impossible for a human being without the most advanced technologies. But what if it were possible? What if you were really there? That distant planet, known for its atmospheric violence, its murderous winds and infernal temperatures, challenges us to imagine the impossible. What would be the limits of our survival? What would the experience of being on such an unforgiving planet be like? Would it be possible to breathe, survive, or even explore its vast gaseous landscapes and murky atmosphere? Get ready, because today we're going to explore one of the most bizarre worlds in the universe, HD 1897-33b, a planet that will make you question everything you know about the conditions we could face on an alien world. What would it be like to face the force of winds that cut through the atmosphere with extraordinary speed? How to resist the 1,000-degree heat? Let's take a deep dive into the extreme conditions of this planet and understand why it is so unforgiving. But before you continue on this journey, don't forget to leave a like right now to show your support for this content. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, as you won't want to miss the next videos, where we'll reveal even more secrets about the cosmos, alien planets, and the frontiers of the unknown. Stay with us, because what we discover next will change the way you see the universe. Now let's continue our journey through space and explore more about this hellish planet, which is further away from us than we can imagine, but which has secrets much closer than you think. Prepare for the impossible. Imagine being in a place so far from our home, a world where every movement is a fight for survival. HD 1897-33b is this place, a giant gaseous planet that orbits a distant star, located about 63 light-years from Earth, in the constellation of Hercules. This exoplanet is not just another distant point in the vast cosmos. He is a real challenge to the limits of physics and human biology. The conditions that prevail there are so extreme, so unforgiving, that they make the furious winds of our own planet or the scorching heat of the Sahara Desert seem like a peaceful vacation. It's fascinating, and at the same time terrifying, to think about how this alien world behaves. The winds that cut through its atmosphere are not just strong, they are devastating. Imagine winds traveling at 8,700 kilometers per hour, faster than the speed of sound on Earth. These winds are like sharp blades cutting through the air, creating violent storms that have the power to destroy any ship or structure that tries to exploit their conditions. There is no shelter that can withstand the pressure of these gusts, and every second you spent there you would feel the force of an environment that is out of control. It's hard to even imagine what these large-scale storms would be like. Certainly something unimaginable for us human beings, accustomed to living in an environment where nature behaves within the limits we know. But in HD 1897-33b, nature does not ask permission. She just acts. Now the real question is, what would it take to survive this? What conditions would need to be faced to even try to live on or explore this planet? The answer is simple: a technology beyond our current capabilities. Without it, it would be impossible to resist such an inhospitable environment. But what makes everything even more insane is the relentless heat that dominates the planet. 1,000 degrees Celsius. Imagine what it's like to face such an extreme temperature. Hotter than any oven or furnace you've ever known. This heat would not only transform any material that tried to resist, but it would also make the air unbreathable. What is unthinkable here, like melting iron, is a reality on this planet. The physics of the universe, solar radiation, and the uncontrolled greenhouse effect create an environment that destroys everything that comes close, without mercy. HD 1897-33b is located in a zone where the radiation from its star is extremely intense, which accelerates the planet's heating process. The planet's dense atmosphere traps this radiation, preventing heat from escaping, generating a greenhouse effect so aggressive that it becomes one of the hottest planets ever known in the universe. For us, this is a place where life would be impossible unless we were equipped with cutting-edge technology capable of withstanding such pressures. The heat in HD 1897-33b is not just uncomfortable, it is lethal. Imagine that the surface of this planet becomes a true hell, with temperatures that melt metals, such as iron and steel, in a matter of minutes. The idea of walking there, even with the best spacesuits, is practically impossible. The impact of the heat would be so strong that it could corrode even the most protected parts of the ship, destroying any attempt at exploration. And if you think that's the worst, the violent winds and extreme heat are just part of the picture. The combination of these factors creates an atmospheric system so unstable that it is capable of generating uncontrollable storms. HD 1897-33b is actually a real heat bomb and impossible winds. Scientists who study this planet observe with amazement the way its dense and turbulent atmosphere interacts with the gravitational forces of its star. This planet does not follow the rules that we are used to seeing in our solar system. Instead of having a climate that varies in a more controlled way, as we see on Earth, HD 897-33bi lives in constant chaos, where storms are not only predicted, but unpredictable and destructive. And the most surprising thing is that these winds can destroy a spacecraft in a matter of minutes, due to the constant pressure that the gusts exert on any object that tries to cross its atmosphere. The dynamics of the planet are completely alien to us humans. While Earth experiences strong winds during storms such as hurricanes and tornadoes, HD 1897-33b has winds so powerful that they make any attempt at exploration a true suicide. Gusts of 8,700 kilometers per hour can literally flatten a ship, tearing it to pieces like paper. These storms are caused by the way the gravity of HD 1897-33bi interacts with the air currents that dominate its atmosphere. Gravity pulls the air with such intensity that it accelerates until it reaches stratospheric speeds. The result is a constant storm that never ceases, an atmosphere in perpetual motion that only gets worse with time. If you were there, it would be impossible to stand or even survive this natural phenomenon. Every gust of wind would be like a direct punch from an incomprehensible force of nature. However, the big question is, how would it be possible to survive this relentless reality? The answer lies in the use of advanced space technology, which is possibly still beyond our current capabilities. To even attempt to explore HD 1897-33b, a completely insulated and pressurized spacesuit would be needed, a suit with heat shields capable of withstanding extreme heat and air purification systems that would guarantee human survival by preventing toxic gases from the atmosphere from invading the respiratory system. This suit would need to be radiation-proof, as the planet's atmosphere emits intense radiation, which would make direct exposure to the surface fatal to any human being. Wind pressure would require the ship and any supporting structures to be shielded in a practically indestructible way, something that today's technology cannot yet offer. Now, imagine trying to survive in this scenario. What would it be like to be in such a hostile environment, with the winds destroying everything around you, the scorching heat burning every cell in your body, and the radiation making it impossible to even breathe without a specialized system? Do you really think you could survive on a planet like that? What would you do to escape such violence from nature? Leave your answer in the comments below, because we want to know your opinion about survival in HD 1897-33b. What technologies do you believe would be needed to survive on such an extreme planet? Will we ever be able to explore such inhospitable planets? Comment and share your ideas, because in the next video we'll explore how these extreme conditions can teach us something about the future of space exploration. Who knows what the future holds for us? Imagine yourself being thrown into a completely distant world, where nature in all its magnitude not only challenges, but annihilates. You, a human being, on a planet like HD 1897-33b, where with every step you are closer to destruction. This is not a simple interplanetary tour, but a merciless test, where the laws of physics, biology, and human survival are pushed to their most extreme limits. We are talking about a gaseous exoplanet that orbits a distant star, but with conditions so violent that they would make any of us succumb to its relentless force. If HD 1897-33b were part of our solar system, it would be in orbit more than 63 light-years from Earth, in a region of the cosmos where humanity would never have imagined a planet could be so inhospitable. The planet, which is hotter than anything we've ever experienced in our solar system, is home to powerful winds that can reach up to 8,700 kilometers per hour. To put it in perspective, not only are these winds faster than the speed of sound, they are also capable of destroying a spacecraft with the ease of a breath. What does this mean to you, an astronaut on an exploration mission? Imagine the feeling of being thrown against a wall of wind so strong you couldn't move no matter how hard you tried. Any structure that dared to enter this planet would be at risk of being torn apart by violent storms. There is no shelter, there is no safety. In a world like this, any attempt at exploration would be a suicidal risk. But the winds are not the only enemy in HD 1897-33b. The planet's temperature is close to 1,000 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt even the most resistant metals we use to build our spaceships. This hellish temperature wouldn't just be uncomfortable, it would be lethal. The runaway greenhouse effect causes radiation from its star to become trapped in its dense atmosphere, heating the planet to levels where nothing can survive without an extreme level of protection. If you were there, your ship would begin to melt in the relentless heat, no matter how advanced the technology was. HD 1897-33b has the power to turn any equipment into a pile of scrap. The simple act of trying to approach the planet would be fatal. And here the question that arises is, how could anyone survive all this? How to protect yourself from the scorching heat and winds that can destroy everything around you? The answer is not simple. To survive in HD 1897-33b, you would need a spacesuit designed specifically to face these extreme conditions. We are not talking about just any suit, but a suit with a heat shield powerful enough to withstand temperatures of 1,000 degrees Celsius, capable of protecting the human body from intense radiation and unbearable heat. In order for you to be able to breathe, the suit would also have to have highly sophisticated air purification systems, which would filter toxic gases from the planet's atmosphere. Even with this, survival would be limited to a few minutes, perhaps hours, depending on the strength of the technology. What about wind pressure? To do this, you would need a spacecraft shielded against the devastating forces of the atmosphere of HD 1897-33b. The ship would have to be built with extremely resistant materials, capable of withstanding the pressure of 8,700 kilometers per hour of wind, a force that could easily tear any structure not designed for such resistance. Even the most advanced ship would be put to the test under this immense pressure. Every second in HD 1897-33b would be a constant battle against the natural forces that dominate this world. And the most intriguing thing of all is that, even with all this technology, the radiation coming from the planet's star would make any space exploration mission a constant risk. Imagine what it would be like to try to wade through this cosmic storm. Every movement would be a constant effort against the power of nature, trying to somehow stay upright or, if possible, find shelter. But then again, there is no shelter in HD 1897-33b. Any structure that tried to establish itself would be destroyed. What remains would be the determination of an impossible mission, where human survival would depend on cutting-edge technology and the human ability to overcome the limits of everything we know about space, gravity, and physics. Now imagine yourself on a ship trying to approach HD 1897-33b. Violent winds rip apart the planet's surface, and the star's radiation consumes every layer of protection you have. His spacesuit, designed to withstand the worst conditions in the universe, begins to heat up, and the pressure of the atmosphere creates a deafening noise. You feel the heat taking over the environment inside the ship. Your every move is more difficult than the last, and you know that at any moment, the planet could claim what belongs to it. The tension builds as you try to understand how it would be possible to not be consumed by these chaotic and destructive forces. You ask yourself, what would I do? How would I prepare for something like this? The only way to deal with the extreme conditions of HD 1897-33bi would be with a combination of highly advanced space technology and physical endurance capable of withstanding the impossible. Even so, the fight for survival would be almost insurmountable. However, HD 1897-33b is not just a physics-defying planet. It also gives us a fundamental lesson about space exploration. Even in such a hostile environment, the desire to explore the cosmos and understand the limits of the universe never disappears. And the technology needed to pioneer worlds like HD 1897-33b could one day open doors to interplanetary and even interstellar travel, challenging everything we know about life and existence in space. Now imagine the following situation. You are on a mission to explore an alien planet, a planet like HD 1897-33b, with winds so strong they can destroy everything around it and temperatures that could melt metals. You're inside a spaceship equipped with the best technology can offer, but the planet's atmosphere and environment seem uncontrollable. Your mission is simple: explore. But soon you realize that the planet itself is trying to stop you from doing this. Every move is a fight against time, and the constant pressure of the environment requires you to make quick and precise decisions. Now, think for a moment. If you were the astronaut in this scenario, what would your first action be? How would you prepare for such extreme winds and temperatures? Leave your answer in the comments below. We want to know how you, with the imagination of a space explorer, would prepare to survive and study a planet as challenging as HD 1897-33b. What would be your survival strategy? Comment now and share your ideas with us. Have you ever wondered what you would do if you were transported to a planet where nature acts with total impunity, where winds cut through the air at speeds greater than a jet, and the temperature reaches levels so high that they challenge our own understanding of how matter can exist? Imagine yourself in a place like HD 1897-33b, a gaseous exoplanet orbiting a distant star located 63 light-years from Earth, where conditions are so extreme that not even the most advanced spacesuits, ships, or technologies could guarantee your survival for more than a few minutes. Every second on a planet like this is a battle against natural forces that defy everything we know about physics, biology, and the conditions necessary to sustain life. This planet is not just a distant point in the vastness of the cosmos. It is an impressive and frightening example of what nature can do when the magnitude of the universe is put at stake. What happens when the laws of gravity, physics, and even cosmology combine to create a perfect storm of radiation, wind, and extreme heat? HD 1897-33b answers that question in a way that only the bravest scientists and astronomers try to understand. Let's try to imagine for a moment what it would be like to be on this planet. HD 1897-33b is a true nightmare for anyone who dares to explore its conditions. The winds there are not only fast, but they are powerful in ways that most humans could never comprehend. These winds cut through the atmosphere at an impressive 8,700 kilometers per hour, faster than the speed of sound on Earth. The planet is so close to its star that atmospheric pressure and radiation create violent storms that can destroy any ship or structure that tries to defy the chaos of the alien environment. The interaction of the gravity of HD 1897-33b with the air currents creates winds so strong that they are capable of destroying everything around them. Have you ever imagined feeling the force of these winds, with the cutting pressure of the air tearing everything in front of you? For a human being, it would be like a sharp blade being thrown at you at full speed. The sensation would be so intense that even with the best technological protection, the chances of survival would be extremely low. And the heat, the temperature in HD 1897-33b is 1000 degrees Celsius, a condition that turns any environment into an unforgiving hell. This is much hotter than the surface temperature of Mercury, the closest planet to our Sun. Even iron would melt in this heat, making it virtually impossible for any human-made structure to withstand this brutal heat. HD 1897-33b's proximity to its star creates a runaway greenhouse effect that traps the star's radiation in the planet's dense atmosphere, resulting in relentless warming. This greenhouse effect is so aggressive that nothing escapes it, and everything that tries to get close to the planet will be swallowed by this fireball in space. The physics that govern this planet are beyond our understanding, as the conditions are so extreme that they defy everything we know about atmospheres, climate, and human biology. Now imagine what would happen to the human body when exposed to these conditions. Wind pressure and extreme heat would certainly not be the only challenges. The radiation coming from the star that illuminates HD 1897-33b would be so intense that direct exposure to the planet's environment would result in a quick and painful death. The human body is not prepared to withstand such violence from nature. The heat would melt fabrics, the pressure would disintegrate the structure of any protective suit, and the piercing winds would tear apart any ship or equipment trying to survive in this inferno. The exploration mission in HD 1897-33b would, without a doubt, be an extreme test of human capabilities, where survival would depend not only on technology, but on a level of innovation even beyond what we know today. So how would it be possible to survive in this scenario? How could you face such extreme conditions, where every element on the planet seems to be in direct battle against your mission of exploration? The answer, without a doubt, lies in cutting-edge technology, something that at the moment we do not have. To withstand the winds and heat of HD 1897-33b would require a highly specialized spacesuit. This suit would have to be able to withstand pressures and temperatures that no one had ever imagined. Additionally, an advanced heat shield that could protect the human body from the scorching heat would be needed. This shield would need to be able to reflect or dissipate radiation efficiently, protecting every inch of human skin. It would be a continuous pressurization system, because without it, the lack of oxygen and the pressure of the atmosphere would be fatal in a matter of minutes. The ships would also need to be heavily armored, with a structure capable of resisting the pressure of violent winds and the impact of intense storms. Any failure in any of these systems would mean instant death. Even the best ship, equipped with all modern systems, would have difficulty withstanding the inhospitable conditions of HD 1897-33b. The intense radiation coming from the nearby star would be like a poison, corroding any surface that is not perfectly shielded. Attempting to land or explore the planet's surface would require perfect coordination between the ship, spacesuits, and protection systems, something that to date is beyond our capabilities. But while all these challenges seem almost insurmountable, the truth is that the exploration of HD 1897-33b and planets like it teaches us a fundamental lesson about the limits of our intelligence and ingenuity. The search for planets in our solar system, such as Venus, Mars, Jupiter and their moons, as well as exoplanets, such as HD 1897-33b, is a search for new horizons and the true expansion of human knowledge. It's not just about getting to the next planet or star, it's about understanding the limits of the universe, gravity, and how we can, one day, use what we learn to explore other star systems or even search for extraterrestrial life forms. Friendly Pathfinder, if you had to choose between exploring a planet like HD 1897-33b or trying to establish a colony on Mars, which would you choose? What, in your opinion, would make HD 1897-33be so more dangerous than other planets in our solar system, such as Mars or Venus? We are curious to know your choice and your reasons. Comment below, and we will discuss what different planets in the cosmos offer us unique challenges for space exploration. After a detailed exploration of HD 1897-33b, it is impossible not to reflect on how small and vulnerable we are in the face of the vast and immense universe. The planet is a true heat bomb and impossible winds, whose extreme conditions force us to rethink our limitations, not only as human beings, but as a species capable of exploring the most remote corners of the cosmos. When we think about space exploration, we are often filled with a feeling of awe at the universe, but also a certain fear, a sense of how little we know about what really awaits us beyond our own solar system. HD 1897-33b is a perfect example of how cruel and merciless nature can be, but it also offers us a valuable lesson about the limits of our ability to survive and explore. This planet, which lies a staggering 63 light-years from Earth, is not just a bright spot in vast space, but a reminder that no matter how much we master physics and astronomy, the universe remains an enigma that constantly challenges us. The extreme conditions of HD 1897-33b, with its destructive winds of 8,700 kilometers per hour, faster than the speed of sound, and its relentless heat, are elements of an environment completely hostile to life as we know it. On such a planet, any exploration attempt would be subject to immediate destruction, without the use of the more advanced technologies that NASA and other space agencies have been developing to address challenges like these. As we explore the planet, we see that HD 1897-33b is a clear example of the difficulties that space exploration holds for us. But at the same time, it shows us what we need to learn to keep moving forward. This planet is a model of the many others that exist in the universe, with conditions that defy all our concepts of habitability and physics. The immensity of the cosmos puts us before a scenario where survival on distant planets will only be possible with the use of cutting-edge technology, something that scientists and engineers are intensely seeking. How can we adapt our bodies and equipment to withstand the extremely fast winds and infernal heat of HD 1897-33b? The future of space exploration may one day depend on our ability to design ships and spacesuits that can withstand these extreme conditions. These lessons about the limits of our survival are more important than ever, especially as we search for extraterrestrial life and try to discover more about the planets that orbit distant stars. Research on exoplanets like HD 1897-33b teaches us that although physics and gravity may be our allies, nature on distant worlds operates with a force far beyond our current understanding. Increasingly, scientists are faced with planets that are not just different, but alien in their essence, challenging not only science but also our own perception of what is possible in the vast universe. This is where the need for technological innovations comes in. Survival technologies have been a crucial part of space missions and will be even more essential as we explore these new worlds. Every space exploration, whether to the Moon, Mars, or other distant planets, requires a deep understanding of physics, astrophysics, and cosmology. And it's not just the survival of an astronaut on a planet with winds of 8,700 kilometers per hour and temperatures of 1,000 degrees Celsius that is at stake. Humanity's future in the cosmos may depend on our ability to live sustainably in an alien environment. This quest will take us to explore not only the planets we know, but also those that are still beyond our reach, like Titan or even exoplanets located in distant star systems. The question we are left with is, how would it be possible to survive on a planet like this? How could we adapt to such extreme conditions? Would an astronaut have a chance of surviving in an environment where radiation, heat, and winds could destroy everything around them? What would we need in terms of technology and physical preparation to resist? The answer, without a doubt, lies in constant innovation and the development of new space technologies that allow us to face the most relentless forces in the universe. And while scientists and engineers work on that future, we, mere observers, can marvel at the vastness of the universe and what it still has to teach us. Now, imagine yourself on a planet like this, facing the destructive winds and scorching heat. What would you do to survive? What do you believe is necessary to explore an environment like HD 1897-33b? Leave your answer in the comments below, as we want to know what you think about this challenge. How can humanity prepare for the future of space exploration on such distant and unpredictable planets? Let's discuss together the limits of survival and what we can expect from the future. Pathfinder friend, be sure to support the channel. Like this video to show your interest in more content like this, and subscribe to continue following our journey through the cosmos. With each video, together we discover more and more mysteries of the universe, and you won't want to miss what comes next. Get ready, because what comes next is even more impressive than anything you've ever imagined. The next video appearing on your screen will take you even further, where the mysteries of the cosmos deepen. Don't miss your chance to understand more about what's really out there, waiting to be discovered. I'm waiting for you in the next video.